Let's take a moment to find a comfortable position to start off in. You might choose a seated position or something that's reclined. And you can use whatever kind of supports you'd like. Maybe sitting on a bolster or a cushion. Laying down, using a pillow under your head. Whatever allows you to feel comfortable and supported. And once you've chosen the shape that you'd like to begin with, let's close our eyes or soften our gaze and turn our attention inwards. Scanning through the body and noticing any areas that are carrying tension, any areas that feel tight. And as you come across those areas, if you can, imagine them softening and releasing just slightly. Giving yourself permission to accept the support from beneath your body and let go of that need to hold on. And from there, we'll turn our attention to our breathing. First, just noticing how the body moves as you breathe. Noticing the speed and depth of your breath. And then if you'd like, you can focus on deepening the breath a little bit. As you inhale, imagine drawing the air all the way down the length of the spine, allowing the ribcage to expand as the lungs fill up, and allowing the belly to rise. On the exhale, allowing that air to travel back up and out, the belly softens. The lungs empty, the ribs knit back together. Allow each breath to be slow and mindful, paying attention to where it travels and how it feels as it moves through the body. Allowing yourself to find a rhythm that works for you. If after a few breaths you feel that you're breathing too deeply and it's not comfortable, allow yourself to back out a little bit and find something that works for you. And continuing with that slow, steady breathing, let's start to invite some movement back into the body, maybe gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Circling wrists and ankles. And perhaps turning the head from side to side. Let's bring the body back to stillness. And if you began laying down, taking some time to make your way onto one side of your body before pressing up, we'll meet in a seated position. If you were seated to start off with and you'd like to change the shape you're in, you can do that as well, adjusting in any way that you need to. And once seated, let's try to ground equally through both sides of the body. So both sitting bones are anchoring down. We're able to lengthen up through the crown of the head, allowing the spine to get a little longer. And as we inhale, stick both hands up overhead, reaching up overhead, joining the palms together. We'll interlace the fingers from the palms out. And exhale, draw the hands down in front of the body. Releasing at the bottom. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhaling, drawing the hands down in front of the body. If for any reason this is uncomfortable on your hands or your wrists, you can also choose to inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, release the hands down the opposite way they came, fanning the arms open to the sides. So 2 options. Inhaling up, exhaling down with that hand and wrist stretch. Or inhaling up, exhaling down, open arms. Really focusing here on finding a rhythm of breath, matching movement to that rhythm. So as you reach the top of your inhale, your hands are at the very highest point. And as you reach the bottom of your exhale, your hands are at their very lowest point. Tuning into sensation within the body, paying special attention to the muscles around the rib cage, surrounding the shoulder blades, the arms, the wrists, and the hands. Maybe noticing if the sensation changes as you continue to move. We'll change it up a little bit on the next inhale, reaching up. But as you exhale, drop the left hand down, extend the right arm up and over, lengthening the right side of the body. We'll inhale all the way back up through center, reaching both hands up overhead. And exhale to the other side, drop the right hand down, extend the left arm up and over. Each inhale, reaching up. And with the exhale, extending over to one side. Being mindful that both hips remain equally heavy. And focus on lifting up and over as much as you focus on leaning to the side. You can allow your gaze to be steady in front of you, or it can travel with whichever hand is moving. And the next time one hand comes down on the left, we'll pause there, extending the right arm up and over, really getting heavy through the right hip. Extending the fingertips up and over as we inhale, focusing on lengthening, and as we exhale, maybe folding a little bit deeper, trying to keep the shoulders in line with the hips. So it's one plane of movement, leaning directly to the side. If you notice your right shoulder falling in, try to draw it open. Here, the gaze lift it up. Again, be straight ahead, or you could drop it down to your left hand. And let's release. We'll inhale, coming all the way up through center. And exhale the other direction. Drop the right hand down, extend the left arm up and over. Same thing on this side, choosing your focal point. Allowing the inhale to lengthen the body, and exhale, maybe hinge, fold a little deeper towards the side. Good, now let's drop the left hand down to the right wrist. We'll press into the right hand to lift up tall. Take a nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll twist open towards the right. Maybe walking that right hand back a little bit further, drawing the right shoulder back, and maybe looking over the right shoulder behind you. As you inhale, press into the hands to lengthen up. And as you exhale, soften, release, draw the low belly in, and maybe twist a little bit deeper. Okay, let's inhale, releasing, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, we'll drop the right hand to left knee, left hand down onto the ground. As we inhale, we'll press into those hands, lengthen. And as we exhale, let's open towards the left, drawing left shoulder back, looking over the left shoulder. Breathing in to lift up, breathing out, softening, maybe twisting a little deeper. Good, let's inhale, releasing all the way to center. From here, we'll make our way up into a tabletop, moving any props out of the way, coming up onto the hands and knees. Allowing the wrists to be about shoulder distance apart, knees about hip distance apart. Toes can be flat on the floor or tucked under. Let's press the floor away, spreading the shoulder blades, looking straight down towards the ground, finding a neutral spine. And then we'll start to move through cat and cow. As we inhale, we'll lower the belly down, draw the shoulders back and look forward. And as we exhale, let's round the spine, spread the shoulders, and look back to the knees. We'll go back and forth between those two, using the inhale to lengthen the front of the body, and exhale to lengthen the back. Focusing on any sensation you feel as you move, and on matching movement with breath. Bringing it back to stillness at center. As we inhale, let's lift the left hand up towards the ceiling, reaching open towards the left side. We'll exhale, dropping that left hand down. We'll do the other side. Inhaling, lifting right hand up, opening to the right. Exhale, drop it down, switching sides again. Inhaling, left hand up. Exhaling, left hand down. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, right hand down. One more on each side. And we'll bring it back to stillness. From here, let's grip down through the fingertips and the tips of the thumbs. We'll step back, tucking the toes under, pressing the heels back, moving into plank pose. And then we'll shift the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Allowing the feet to be about hip distance apart. You have the knees bent. We really want to focus here on lengthening the spine, pressing the floor away, lifting hips up and back. You can choose if you want to pedal through your feet, bending knees, bending ankles, bringing some movement into the legs, or you can stay in stillness. It's up to you. You are bringing it back to stillness. We'll inhale, bending the knees even deeper, looking forward. As we exhale, we'll walk up to the top of the mat, coming to a forward fold. In our forward fold, feet are about hip distance apart or a little closer. Knees are bent so that the belly can rest on the thighs and arms hang heavy. You can take hold of opposite elbows or wrap the arms around the backs of the legs. Maybe taking a moment to nod the head yes, or shake the head no, releasing tension from the neck. And then we'll release the hands back down onto the ground. As we inhale, we'll straighten the legs, straighten the spine, bring hands to rest on the shins for Ardha Uttanasana, half back. As we exhale, we'll bend the knees and fold forward once again. Bending the knees even deeper, hips go really nice and low. As we inhale, let's extend the arms up overhead, coming into chair pose. Try to keep the knees back behind the toes. Keep the hips low. Keep the arms active, so fingers are spread, fingers are reaching. We'll take an exhale here, sink a little lower. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's release the arms at the sides. We'll find our mountain pose. Grounding down through the ball of the foot and the heel. Letting the toes and the arch be light. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Soften the shoulders down. Extend the arms out alongside the body, again with fingers active, either spread wide or drawn together. Palms can face in towards the body or up towards the front, whatever you prefer. In our mountain pose, focusing on grounding down and lengthening up at the same time. Getting a little taller with each breath in and a little bit more connected with each breath out. From here, as we inhale, let's sweep the arms up overhead. As we exhale, let's sit down and back for chair pose. We'll inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward, allowing the legs to straighten out slightly, coming to a forward fold. As we inhale, we'll move to half back. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. From here, we'll lower the knees down onto the ground, untuck the toes, keeping the elbows in pretty close to the body. And we'll lower all the way down, coming all the way onto the mat. From here, pressing down into the tops of the toes, gazing down towards the ground. We'll inhale, lifting the chest and shoulders. Coming up into a baby cobra, gaze stays down towards the ground, so back of the neck is long. Feet continue to press into the floor, activating muscles of the legs. As we exhale, we'll lower all the way down. Inhaling, we'll tuck the toes under, lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. From here, as we inhale, we'll bend the knees, looking ahead. As we exhale, we'll walk to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, we'll let ourselves sink down into chair pose, extend the arms up overhead. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, right away, let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit down and back. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, fold forward. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhaling for baby cobra. And exhaling all the way back to downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees, looking ahead. Exhaling, walking or stepping to the top of the mat, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, settling into chair pose, extending those arms up overhead. Exhaling, sinking a little bit lower. Inhaling, rising all the way up. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. Again, inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, sinking down and back, toes are ahead of the knees. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale for Ardha Uttanasana, half back. Exhale, full plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, come all the way down to the ground. We'll inhale for cobra. And exhale all the way back, downward facing dog. Let's pause in our downward dog. Giving ourselves a time to find equal weight between feet and hands. Press the floor away, lift tailbone up and back. Shake the head side to side, ensuring that the neck is engaged but not overactive. Drawing the heels down towards the ground. And breathing slow and steady. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. As we exhale, we'll step or walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling, sinking hips down, reaching arms up overhead. And exhaling to sit a little bit lower. So inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's release those arms at the sides. Once again, finding our mountain pose. Allowing feet to be hip distance apart. Engaging through the ball of the foot and the heel so the toes are light, the inner arch is light. Shoulders are down and back. Arms are at the sides. Hands are active, either facing in towards the body or out towards the front. And as we inhale, we'll lengthen up. Exhale, we'll ground down. Good. From here, let's take the right arm across the front of the body. And we'll loop the inside of the left elbow around the outside of the right elbow. Draw that right arm in nice and close. Soften the shoulders down. If you feel comfortable here and you'd like to take it one step further, you can bring the elbows in towards the midline of the body and wrap the forearms around one another. So you might come to rest with hands, backs of the hands touching, or you might wrap around so that the palms are touching. Again, here we want to soften the shoulders down, maybe lift the elbows a little bit higher, move the hands away from the face. Let's start to settle down and back into our chair pose. Knees stay behind the toes. Tailbone draws down and back. You can stay here, or if you'd like to test your balance, look ahead, find something that's not moving, steady your gaze, and then lift your left foot, cross the left knee over the right, and either touch those left toes down on the floor or tuck them behind the right, coming to eagle. Again, here we want to sink down and back, lift the elbows, breathe slow and steady while focusing on that whatever's not moving in front of you. Breathing in and breathing out. And then with an inhale, we'll release, reaching up, coming all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Pausing for a moment, checking in with yourself. Allowing your breath to be slow and steady. Allowing yourself to root down through your feet. Onto the other side. Whenever you're ready, crossing the left arm in front of the body, we'll loop the inside of the right elbow around the left elbow. Draw that left arm in close. Soften the shoulders down. Either choosing to stay here or bringing the elbows back towards the midline and lining up the forearms with one another. Backs of the hands might touch, or you might wrap the hands around for a bind. From here, we'll take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll sink the hips down and back, coming into our chair pose. Either choosing to stay here or finding something ahead of you that's not moving to focus on. Letting your gaze soften, shifting your weight over into your left foot, and then lifting the right foot, crossing the right knee over the left, either touching those right toes down on the floor or tucking them back behind the left calf. Wherever you are, sinking the hips down, lifting the elbows high, letting the shoulders be soft. Breathing slowly in and slowly out. Letting your gaze be focused. And then with an inhale, we'll step down, reach up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sit down and back, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step back to plank, lower all the way down onto the ground. Inhaling for baby cobra. Exhaling all the way back to downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking ahead. As we exhale, we'll walk or step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for chair pose, sink the hips, lift the hands. Exhale, sink down. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down, heart center. Again, we'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit hips down and back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back, lower all the way down onto the mat. Inhaling for baby cobra. Exhaling all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, inhaling, looking ahead. Exhaling, stepping or walking to the top of the mat. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, lifting the hands, sinking the hips, chair pose. Exhaling, sinking a little bit lower. And inhaling, rising all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's do one more cycle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit down and back. Inhale, reach those hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to full, planting the hands, stepping all the way back and lowering all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale all the way up and back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking ahead. As we exhale, we'll step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, lifting hands, sinking hips, chair pose. Exhaling, sitting a little bit lower. Inhaling, rising all the way up. And exhaling, hands down to heart center before releasing them at the sides. Once again, let's take pause. We'll find equal weight through both feet. Settling down through the balls of the feet and the heels. Lifting the toes up, feeling the inner arches lift. And then lightly lowering the toes back down onto the ground. As we inhale, we'll lengthen the spine, lifting up tall. As we exhale, let's ground down through those feet. Softening shoulders down, extending fingers wide. Palms in towards the body or open towards the front. Finding some engagement through the legs. As we inhale and lift up tall, maybe feeling some engagement through the glutes. As we exhale and press down, maybe finding engagement through the quads. Good, let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts. And from here, we'll make our way into tree pose, starting with the left foot as an anchor, shifting weight over into the left side, bringing a little bit of a bend into the left knee. We'll turn the right knee open to the right side and allow the heel of the right foot to come just inside the left ankle. Toes can stay touching down on the floor. Find that focal point in front of you, something that's not moving, something that you can focus your gaze on and then allow it to soften. You can stay as you are. If you're feeling confident in your balance and you'd like to take it one step further, you can slide the bottom of your right foot up inside of your left calf or inside of your left thigh. Wherever you're at, continue turning that right knee open to the side. Lifting up as you inhale and pressing down as you exhale. Keep your gaze soft. Allow your jaw to stay relaxed. And keep the breath flowing. You can extend them up overhead if you'd like. Using the arms as branches of a tree. Take one more nice deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, releasing. Maybe taking a moment to roll through wrists, roll through ankles. Before steadying once again, coming back to our mountain pose. Bringing hands together in front of the heart. We'll start to shift our weight over into the right foot. Turning the left knee open to the side, bringing the heel of the left foot just inside the right ankle. Toes can stay pressing down. Again, here, this is the point at which we find a focal point, something to gaze at that's not moving. Help focus the gaze, help steady the balance. You can stay here as you are, or you can choose to slide the left foot just inside of the right calf or inside of the right thigh. Keep turning the left knee open to the side wherever you're at. Keep pressing down through the right foot. As we inhale, we'll lift up, and as we exhale, we'll ground down. You can leave your hands together at heart center, or you can extend them up overhead. And we'll take a few slow, steady breaths. Good, one more inhale. And then we'll exhale, releasing down again, taking some time to roll through wrists, roll through ankles. We'll come all the way back to the top of the mat. From here, as we inhale, extend both arms up overhead. As we exhale, we'll sit the hips down and back, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold forward, step back and lower down. We'll inhale for baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift all the way up and back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. As we exhale, we'll step or walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands, chair pose. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Again, we'll inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sink down and back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, lower all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale all the way up and back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. Exhaling to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands high. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, sink a little lower. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. One more cycle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit down and back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, step back, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale all the way up and back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's bend the knees looking ahead. As we exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands, chair pose. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center before releasing them at the sides. Once again, we'll find a strong, steady mountain pose. Anchoring down through both feet, lengthening up through the crown. Allowing the breath to become slow and steady. And the gaze to focus. Let's bring hands onto hips when we're ready. We'll start to shift weight over into the left foot, bringing a little bit of a bend into the left knee. If you found tree pose challenging, you can focus on the tree pose again. If you'd like to take it one step further, we'll move into a figure four pose. So we'll lift the right knee, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and open that right knee out to the side. So if that's uncomfortable for your hip, again, you can practice the tree pose. If you find it challenging on your balance, you can practice the tree pose, or you can use a wall or a chair or some other piece of furniture for support. We want to flex at the right ankle so the toes are drawing back towards the shin, and we want to make sure the shin is resting above the knee. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. Find our focal point. Take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, you guessed it, sit down and back, chair pose. Keep lengthening the spine, drawing tailbone down and back, crown of the head forward. And only go as far as you comfortably can, being mindful of sensation in the hip, being mindful of sensation in the ankle. Breathing in to lengthen and breathing out, maybe sinking a little bit lower if it's available to you. Again, here you can leave hands in front of the heart, or you can extend them up overhead. It's up to you. Take one more inhale and exhale. And then we'll inhale, lift all the way up, lower down. Take a moment to roll through wrists, roll through ankles. And coming back to center. We'll start with hands on hips. Grounding down through both feet. Finding that focal point. Starting to shift the weight over into the right foot, bringing a little bend into the right knee. From here, option to again practice tree pose, or to bend through the left knee, lifting that left knee up and crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, opening the left knee out to the side. We want to flex the left ankle so toes draw back towards the shin, engaging the muscles of the leg. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale down and back. Hands come to heart. Lengthening the tailbone down and back, crown of the head up and forward. You can leave hands at the heart, or you can extend them up overhead. Again, being mindful of any sensation that you're feeling in your left hip. If it's available, use your exhales to sink a little bit lower. If it's not available, use your exhales to ground down through that right foot. Find a deeper sense of connection with the ground. Do one more inhale and exhale. And then we'll inhale, rise all the way up. Set the foot down and take a moment to roll through wrists, roll through ankles. Coming back to the top of the mat if you've moved away. Let's inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Exhale, sit down and back, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen the body. And exhale, release, folding forward. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to full, plant the hands, step back, lower down. Inhaling for baby cobra. Exhaling, pressing all the way up and back, downward facing dog. So inhale, bending the knees, gazing ahead. Exhaling, walking or stepping to the top of the mat, forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands, chair pose. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, sit down and back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to full step back, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, sit back and down. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, draw hands to heart center. Last one, inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit down and back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, stepping back, lowering down. Inhaling, baby cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale for half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the hands. Last chair pose of the class. Exhale, sink a little lower. And inhale, rise all the way up. Join the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment to release into our mountain pose. Last mountain pose of the class. Allowing yourself to ground down through the feet, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Find engagement through the arms, engagement through the legs. Paying attention to the beating of the heart, the feeling of the breath. Any sensation that arises throughout the body. And then from here, we'll inhale, extending arms up overhead. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees, folding forward. And we'll step all the way back to our tabletop. Bringing the knees down under the hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Hands are about shoulder distance apart. From here, as we inhale, let's extend the left arm up and open. As we exhale, we'll sweep the left hand behind the right wrist, planting the left shoulder down and allowing the head to come down softly. You can leave the right arm resting as it is, or you can walk those right fingertips forward, extending all along the right side of the body. Take a couple of slow, steady breaths, lengthening tailbone up and back, softening and releasing through the left shoulder. And whenever you're ready, we'll release, coming all the way back to our tabletop. Pressing into both hands equally, gazing straight down towards the ground. From here, as we inhale, let's take the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, sweep the right hand behind the left wrist. Plant the right shoulder down and allow the head to come down softly. Again, here you can leave the left arm as it is, relaxing onto the ground. Or you can walk the left fingertips forward, lengthening all along the left side of the body, reaching those fingertips ahead. Lengthening tailbone up and back, and softening into the right shoulder, making sure there's not any pressure on the neck or the head. And when you're ready, releasing, coming all the way back up to a tabletop. From here, we'll take the knees wide, bring the big toes together, untucking the toes. We'll settle the hips down onto the heels. We'll start to walk the arms out in front of the body. If you have a bolster or a cushion that you'd like to place under your chest or under your hips, you're welcome to use that for support. You can have your arms extended long so that you're lengthening all along the sides of the body. Or you can allow your arms to relax, even folding the forearms over one another and resting your head on them. You can also choose to reach back to your feet, allowing your shoulder blades to spread open. Taking whichever variation suits you best right now. Breathing into the back of the body, feeling the rib cage expanding and softening with each breath. Allow the hips to settle down and back. Tailbone reaches down and back. Taking one or two more slow, deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, walking your hands back upright, bringing the knees together. We'll shift the hips off to one side. Take a moment to decide whether you'd like to finish your class in a seated or reclined position. And then make your way there. If you are coming into reclined position, coming all the way down onto your back on your mat. If you are seated, feeling free to use any props that you'd like. And just before we move into our actual final rest, we'll finish with a twist on either side. So if you're laying on your back, drawing your knees into your chest, taking your arms out into a T shape, and dropping your knees over onto the left side of the body so you're twisting open towards the right, letting both shoulders be heavy and the knees heavy. You can support your knees with a block or a bolster if you like. If you're sitting upright, take your left hand onto either your left or right knee, right hand down onto the ground. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, twist open. So whichever variation you're in, using your inhale to create a little bit of space, either sitting up taller or feeling the rib cage really expanding as you inhale. And then as you exhale, find some softness. Maybe let yourself twist a little bit deeper if it's available to you. Gazing over the right shoulder. And allowing yourself to settle into the posture. Okay, let's inhale, releasing, coming back to center. Again, if you're on the ground, hugging the knees into the chest before releasing them over to the right side, anchoring down through the left shoulder and opening towards the left. If you're seated, you can take your right hand onto either your right knee or your left hand onto the ground behind or beside you. As you inhale, press into both hands to lift up tall. As you exhale, open towards the left. Whichever option you're in, you can choose to look over your left shoulder. As we inhale, we'll focus on expansion, either filling out the body with air or getting a little taller. And as we exhale, we'll soften and twist. And let's inhale, releasing, coming all the way back to center. If you are on your back, maybe walking your heels down to the top corners of your mat and letting your toes fall open to the sides. Letting your arms extend out alongside the body. Wherever you're at, let your shoulders soften and tuck your chin just slightly so the back of the neck is long. If you're seated, making sure that you're seated comfortably, you're supported as much as you need. Let your hands rest somewhere that they have something underneath of them as well. So maybe on the legs or resting on your belly, one on your belly and one on your heart. You can allow the eyes to close or let the gaze soften. Let's release the jaw, allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. And take a few moments here to really tune into everything that's supporting your body. At each place where you touch down on some kind of support, whether it's a mat or the ground or a cushion, you let that support take your weight. Allow your muscles to soften as you accept that support, releasing a little bit of tension out of the body at each and every point of contact. If you have been focusing on deepening or lengthening your breath, even letting that go. Allowing your breathing to find a comfortable, natural rhythm. Allowing yourself a few moments of just resting. No need to do anything or be anywhere. Allowing yourself to settle into this moment this space. When you're ready, let's start to invite a little bit of movement back into the body once again. Gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, circling wrists and ankles, and maybe turning the head from side to side, inviting whatever movement feels good for you. And really paying attention to that sensation. Let's come all the way back to stillness. If you are resting on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto whichever side of the body is more comfortable. Pausing there for a moment, and then slowly pressing up into your favorite seated position. If you have been seated and you'd like to adjust, you can do that now. Choosing a position that feels comfortable and supported, that allows you to anchor down through both sides of the body and sit up tall. And once we're all seated, let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts, feeling the outer edges of the palms and tips of the fingers. I'd like to thank you for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this practice. From my light to yours. Namaste.